Righto, so back again. Now, I'm planning on starting the front fender mount, which is something I'm slightly terrified about. So, have my fender roughly mounted up where it's going to be, with just some spaces underneath, and I'll strap it down at some point once I've got some holes drilled and tapped into it. Good morning all! So, as you can see, we've made a little bit of movement since yesterday when I signed off after doing that rear sprocket. Have got the chain installed. It actually looks pretty good. I've got all the side covers back installed, so it actually looks like there's a full bike now. Or at least on the side, as long as you don't look at anything on the top. Other thing I also did yesterday afternoon, which I need to file back on both sides, is filled these lovely cuts that my fabricator friends decided would be a good idea, and I thought they needed, but we don't need them because I've got that seat mounting now. So today's big job, we're going to be working on the fender. So this is a pretty cool little piece of kit that I got from Peb's Built Moto. It's got mounting tabs already built in, so basically I can drill through these where I want to and tap the holes, so that way we can just thread straight into them and I don't need to worry about a bolt being under the fender, which makes life significantly easier. I'll put some spaces on the tyre to get this to sit roughly where it will be in the final product. At some point I will tape this down so that we can get a much better idea, but currently I am feeling sort of that bit of a gap there. And basically I'll have some plates that I've got bolted in here that I did yesterday. This is just some stainless steel flat bar, and I've got some stainless steel round bar over here that I'll be welding onto these bungs, and that'll hold it in place. So first things first today is I'm going to drill and tap the holes where I want them, hopefully about where I want them anyway, and we will get moving because we are rapidly running out of time and I have a few jobs still left to do, so let's get moving. So we have got some mounting bungs on each, well, two on each side, and basically I'll bring these bits of wire. I've got some templates. This one I'm going to have to cut down a bit because it's just going to be too long. It is going to be what, the 8mm bar is going to be about 8 at the front, 6 at the back for each one. So basically I'm doing one of the 6mm ones now because it's longer and it has more time for me to bugger it up basically. So I've measured up the bend with another piece of wire. I'm just using some fencing wire as a template. Alright, it put up in my jig. I'm going to heat it up and basically hand bend as best I can and try not to burn myself entirely. I probably will put this bit on a timeline. If there's no footage, then you know I really buggered it up. Right. It's been a couple of days. So I actually did manage to get the front fender all finished up, as you can see. So we've got 2 mounting points at the front, 2 mounting points at the back. It is solid as hell. I did give it a quick polish. Some of these marks just are not going to come out. It is what it is. You know what? Not much I can do about it. The other thing I've been doing, I did do a little bit of work yesterday tidying up some of this mess back here. Got some slightly shorter cables running now. And the big job for today is, and I can show you this. So, on the push button array that we've got set up on here, we've got left indicators and right indicators and a horn. So, got our new control box, which is running all the electrics, which runs the indicators. Now I had it set up and I have tried this. So, left indicator. If I can actually get the shot in. Works. Right indicator. Works. Works on the back. Now, as you may or may not have been able to see out of that shot, my turn indicator switch light on the dash does not work. That is because I have currently not got this hooked in. Reason for that, and it's a pretty standard thing that seems to happen to a lot of people with these new LED flasher relays, is when I have it hooked up, it gets an electrical current that goes back through the positive because it's drawing too much current, and it actually activates all 4 of my indicators all at once, which is a small nuisance, to put it nicely. So I'm going to put some what are they called? Oh, I've got voltage gates stuck in my head. Some diodes in line to prevent that voltage flow, which will mean that I can use the turn signals, have the turn signal light come up on my dash and not have it come back and turn on all 4 lights, which would be great. So splice that, put them in, that'll be fine. The other thing I have done over the last few days, which is a little hard to see with all the wire mess at the moment, is I have my new crankcase breather and my new DNA pod filter, which I'm pretty keen about. I'm not sure about the crankcase where it's going to go. It may end up on the other side, but for now I've got it back near-ish its stock position. So hopefully by the end of today, I will be able to solder up the last of the stuff I need to solder up and basically finish up this loom and see if we've got some more time to get some other stuff done. Let's see how we go. Alrighty, so I'm still fighting with the electrics a little bit. I've sort of sidestepped that for now. I've started doing some of the looming so that it's a little less visible. As you can see on the front here, I've got this nicely loomed up and it's all a little bit nicer. I started running the throttle cables, which I had a small issue with, so I'm going to get a replacement cable, which is ordered. So what I'm doing to fill in time, since I've got some time off, part of ADR compliance is reflectors. So I'm going to do a central reflector off that mounting screw that is underneath the seat. And I'm going to do a couple of side reflectors here, so that way I don't get pulled up by the poppers. Make life nice and easy. So basically I've drilled a hole in this piece of sheet metal for now. I'm just going to get it to about the right length so I know and I can bend up a new plate to be able to put my red reflector on, and I'll probably do, I may not have to bolt to bend it for the side ones. I may be lucky on that one and just be able to have it reasonably short. So yeah, that's what we're doing for now, and hopefully we'll be able to say, yeah, it looks, you know, as reasonably good as you could expect reflectors to look. Anyway, we're right there. Well, hello again all. So it's the next day. I got a stack done yesterday. I did a heap of fabrication. I finally figured out the issue with the indicators, got some diodes, got it earthed, all is good. Now, this is where it gets a little bit real for me, because as you can see, it actually looks like a motorcycle again instead of being stripped down to parts. Now, a few minor changes I still need to do. So when we go for the first test ride, we'll see how we go. I need to fix the speedometer. I just need to put a little bit of silicone on there and hold it together. So I'll do that. I'm going to do a service, bleed the brakes. Nothing particularly exciting for you guys, of course, but we'll get there. But I have to say, I'm pretty proud about this. So, part of Australian main roads requirements for a motorcycle to be on the road, or at least to be roadworthy, is must have a rear red reflector, which at least one, which I think actually looks pretty good. Well, you know, it's a reflector. It's never going to look great, but it looks okay. I think it kind of looks like that traditional center rear light, which is good. The other thing it must have is on either side an amber reflector. Well, I have conveniently managed to hide these quite well. They are there and they do work if someone was coming on the right angle, but they're hidden relatively well behind my shocks, so they're not, you know, hanging out like anything. So as you can see, I've tidied up these brackets. I did the same thing with these new brackets that I did for all the reflectors. They're all a bit tidier, less sharp. Everything's painted. As you can see, I fixed up the sides here. They're not perfect, but guess what? Unless you're looking at them real close like this, you're not going to see it. You can sort of see the paint marks a little bit, but really, unless you're looking for it, you're not going to see it. I had a little touch of some rust converter I need to do on a few bits and pieces. I haven't fully attached the tank yet. As you can see, the petcock's not attached because I need to take this all off, well, the tank off at least again, to do the throttle cable when I get the replacement, because I had a bit of a oopsie and cut one a little bit too short, so I have another one on order for that. That should be here in a couple of days. And everything's sort of pretty well done, other than the throttle and like my service stuff, but they were nice to do and have to do this. The other little bracket I did, which I'm kind of proud of as well, is this. So replacing this used to have a heater slash, I think it's like a heat sensor or something like that. It was for the coils, which I have just shifted as I put my little crankcase breather there. So I got to put little side covers back on, or some little decals that we're going to do on that, which I'll get the fiance to give me a hand with, because she's got a little vinyl cutter. So I just need to tidy up the spool, like wrap it all like I have, because you can see down here I have done so at the rear. So I'll do all that, tidy it all up, and then all going well, I should be able to turn this over and see how we go with that. So I've got a few things to do today, nothing particularly exciting, so you're probably not going to see a lot from me today unless I get a lot done very quickly. Hey all, this is Editing Tyson. I didn't get as much done that day as I had have hoped, so I had to cut the video a little bit short unfortunately, but rest assured I am very close to finishing. So keep an eye out and hopefully we should be able to get this bike turned over and go for a test ride very soon. I'll see you next time. Enjoy.